of the famous Rabbanim of yesteryear, and it happens to be here on Yud Zayin Tammuz, Shiva Asar Tammuz, which is naturally a fast day, a Hebrew, one of the 6 fast days of the Jewish year. It's the Hilula of a great rabbi, Rabbi Yitzchak HaKohen Rapapport, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, who would go on to become the Rishon Lציון of the land of Israel. This was at a time period where usually it was a Sephardi rabbi that had this position. Him being Ashkenaz himself, he very much learned, educated, taught, and many of the great Sephardi rabbanim, and learned in various Sephardi yeshivot all throughout his life. It's actually interesting, he was born in English year 1679. He passed away in July in the English year 1755. Naturally, Yud Zayin Tammuz. He would become a great rabbi. He would become a posek. He will be in Izmir, in Turkey, respectively, and in Jerusalem. And he would become the Rishon Lציון towards the end of his life. He is famous for the great colossal Torah book called the Batei Kahuna also. So Rabbi Yitzchak HaKohen was born in Jerusalem to Rabbi Yehuda Rapapport. It's actually interesting. I believe Rabbi Yehuda Rapapport himself actually came from Lublin, and also that was, I believe, based in Poland also, if I'm not mistaken. So he came from Poland heritage also, and very, very interesting. And moved from, when he was in Lublin, naturally in Poland, he was appointed a judge in the Bet Din of Rabbi Moshe Galanti in Jerusalem. This was when he actually traveled there. So it's actually interesting. Rabbi Yitzchak HaKohen, he actually learned in the Beit Midrash of the great Rabbanim of the Sephardim, naturally over there, despite being Ashkenazi. And he became very, very familiar with Sephardim in Hagim. At a young age, he learned under the auspices next to Rabbi Chizkiah di Silva, very, very great rabbi. He himself was a great Shadar and one of the great rabbis of Israel during the 1700s, and wrote the famous book, the Pri Chadash. We should hopefully speak about him at another time. He learned in the famous yeshiva, the Yeshivat Bet Yaakov, which was where the great rabbis actually learned over there. He also learned, I think, alongside Rabbi Shlomo El Ghazi Hasheni, who was very, very close to him, a close Talmud Torah learner also. He himself wrote in the introduction of the Batei Kahuna, he actually writes a very, very good appraiser, a very good introduction himself, and a recommendation also. And after, I believe, the Pri Chadash passed away in the year 1695, he learned next to Rabbi Avraham Yitzchaki, who was, I think, at the Rishon Lציון also, if I'm not mistaken, another great rabbi, and also alongside Rabbi Yosef Kornaki, also another great rabbi, also hopefully we'll speak about. And in the year 1709, that's tough, Samach Tet, because of the general, there was, I think it was a tough time, especially for the people living in Tzvat. He was sent as a Shadar, which was a huge honorary position, to various congregations, especially in Turkey and all over Turkey, and especially Izmir. One place he did visit was Kushta over there, and I think he actually met over there Harab Aaron Elfendari, who was one of the great rabbis of Izmir also, and Rabbi Avraham Yitzchaki also, and he was a shlichut there from Jerusalem, and he was very much teaching and raising funds over there. I think he then traveled to Izmir. I think at that stage in time it was called Semirna, if I'm not mistaken, and he was accepted in a phenomenal way by the great people over there. I believe in Izmir he founded a yeshiva because he spent a significant time period over there. He worked as a posek of halacha and moreh hora'ah also over there. I believe he was there for many, many years, and he was close also with and appointed there in prominent position along with Rabbi Yaakov Shaul, if I'm not mistaken, who was also another great rabbi, Dayan, and one of the great rabbis of Turkey. He himself wrote the colossal Torah work called the Kol Yaakov. And over there also he was, I think, close to Rabbi Avram ibn Ezra also, who's a famous author of the book, the Batei Knesiot also. And they worked as part of the collegiate Rabbanim inside the ear, respectively, also, which was he was obviously being sent from Israel. It was a very prominent position, and worked many, many, many years over there. And at a later stage, after spending many years there, he returned, Rabbi Rapapport did, to Jerusalem, and over there he was appointed the Rishon Lציון. This was after the passing of the previous person, Rabbi Nisim Chaim Moshe Mizrahi, who was the Rishon Lציון, I believe, just before him in his situation. I think he was there actually, the Rishon Lציon, between the years 1745 to 1749, if I'm not mistaken. So Rabbi Rapapport took this position over there. Usually this position of Rishon Lציon at that stage in time was reserved for a Sephardi rabbi, but he himself was Ashkenazi. Very much people really wanted him to become, and obviously we knew that he was learning, teaching, educating, and very immersed in the Sephardi minhagim over there. So it was, I think, also part of his roles over there was also involved with the famous Yeshivat Beit Yaakov, which we spoke about also before earlier on in the video. And in Yerushalayim, he was also, I believe, working as Ab Bet Din, head of a Jewish court over there. Other great rabbis actually sat along with him in the court, including Rabbi Yisrael Yaakov El-Ghazi, Rabbi Yonah Navon, also who was, I believe, he himself was a rabbi of the famous Chida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulay, also Rabbi Miyuchas Bachar Shmuel, also sat with him inside the court, and Rabbi Yitzchak Zrichaya Azulay, also who was, I believe, the father of the Chida, and which was very prestigious position. It's actually interesting. He was one of the great rabbis, as we said before. He was specializing in various different psakim also, and he was very much teaching within regards to the words of the famous Geonim, the famous geniuses of the Torah itself, respectively, over there. He was obviously, being the Rishon Lציon, that involved many great works. He had to do a lot of responsibility at that point in time. We actually did a video, if you look inside the channel, within regards to the history of the Rishon Lציon before the chief rabbinate came about in Israel, where we listed who was Rishon Lציon from the beginning of the time period where it started till pretty much end over there. So I very much recommend everyone to look into that. So he was dealing with all different segments within regards to halacha, within regards to paskening, within regards to teaching and educating. He passed away on Yud Zayin Tammuz in the year Tafkuf Tet Vav. And he passed away, as we stated before, in Eretz Yisrael. This was in the year 1755, it was, 1755. And it's interesting, let's just explore again his Talmidim. He had great time with him, including Harav Chaim Yosef David Azulay, who we mentioned before, the famous Chida, also, who wrote about him in the highest manner also. Rabbi Yisrael Yaakov El-Ghazi, who we mentioned before. Rabbi Chaim Abu Lafia HaShlishi was another one of his students. Rabbi Masud Chai Rekach, who he also happened to be one of his students. He himself was from Izmir, and was a great rabbi over there, who later on actually came to Eretz Yisrael and actually became a shadar, traveled very much to Libya, to Tripoli, and became a great rabbi over there, if I'm not mistaken. And another one of his students was Rabbi Mordechai Rubin, also, if I'm not mistaken, and Harav Raphael Halevi, also. These were great rabbis in of itself. So he wrote many different Torah works also. And actually, the Chida testifies, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulay, about the great works he had actually written and the great manuscripts. One of the main Torah book that he wrote, which was printed, was the Batei Keuna, which was, I believe, printed in two volumes, respectively. Hakolel et Maaseh Beit Din, Shelot v'Teshuvot, there was questions and answers. The Bayit Va'ad, which was Biurim Lashonot HaPoskim, explanations on different lashonot with regards to different poskim, the things. There was a Beit Avot, which was based on Shas, and the Beit Midrash. It was various drushim also. These were the great books that went about. So he was born in the year 1679, passed away in the year 1755. He was around 76 years of age when he passed away. He was buried actually in Har HaZeitim, in the Mount of Olives burial plot in Jerusalem, over there. His rabbis included, let's just explore again, Rabbi Cheskia di Silva, who we mentioned about before, and Rabbi Avram Yitzchaki, also another great rabbi. So please, I believe he was 8th Rishon Lציon in total. He spent 6-year tenure as a Rishon Lציon, between the year 1749 till I believe the time of his passing in the year 1755. The rabbi that took his place afterwards as Rishon LeZion was Rabbi Yisrael Yaakov El-Ghazi, who was also another great rabbi who would spend his tenure as a Rishon LeZion until he himself also respectively passed away. So please don't forget to light candles in the great memory of the great Rabbi Yitzchak HaKohen Rapapport. I hope please watch over all the previous videos that we've done covering the great rabbis of yesteryear, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, and wishing you all a great night.